Hey there! It is I, Adil, and absolutely not anyone else. And welcome to part 2 of our Black Clover Elf Arc explanation, where we basically spoil what happens in the Elf Arc way before it happens in the anime. As you can see, I've already activated my balls deep voice changing magic and used my American accent spell, because you guys just can't get enough of it. I've also been practicing and training my magic, and now I can make it through a whole freaking video with this accent before running out of magic power. Turn up! Anyway, if you don't want to be spoiled or you haven't watched part 1, then get off this video and watch our last video on the topic. Link in pinned comment below. Also, we cover Black Clover on a weekly basis on this channel, creating a community with you guys, discussing what happened in the manga. I explain theories and knowledge that we have learned in a balls deep manner. So with that being said, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, as we won't be discussing all that knowledge in this series. Anyway, you all wanted it, so here it is. Last time we discussed some insane plot twists, and we were only talking about the beginning of the arc. We're getting into the real juicy stuff today. So grab your grimoires, pull out your anti-magic swords, and get to screaming as we cue that intro!
You don't fuck with neck, bro.
But before we get started, we want to fill you guys in our sponsors for this video, Aurora Legends, a Japanese adventure mobile game for both Android and iOS, where you get to be part of a group of heroes fighting against demons to rescue their shattered world. Aurora was once a beautiful world, peaceful and prosperous. All of a sudden, demons arrived and seized Aurora's land, enslaving its people and plunging this beautiful world into chaos and darkness. Now is the time for you to become their leader and help them raise their swords and fight the remains of the darkness. Bring the light back to Aurora and become the legend of a new era. And yes, that's straight from the game bio, but seriously, both me and Adil has played this game, and it's probably one of the best games to play if you're living a busy lifestyle like us, or even if you're not. It's very easy to get into and play. The objective of the game is to recruit heroes from the tavern and set out on competing quests and tasks, ultimately to defeat demons. You can fight in arenas and also build super combo teams to gain extra effects. The characters' illustration and voiceovers are also pretty awesome. Like, check them out. Like us, you guys will appreciate it.
俺にこそこそと攻撃させるな。
どうしました？怪我でもしましたか？孤児院のみんなは元気にしてるのかな？
Aurora Legends has just launched the EU server on August the 30th, so make sure to download the game. It's available on both Google Play and the App Store. Along with that, if you guys want to win a range of prizes on certain events, then make sure to visit their official Facebook page, which is also on the video description below. So what are you guys waiting for? Click that download link and join us on this hype to fight the demons and rescue the world. I always wanted to be a demon slayer. I never thought it would be like this though. Okay.
Okay, so we left off last time with the Black Bulls rampaging into action, and of course they're leaving destruction behind them the whole time. As expected, they're saving elves left and right, and it appears as though they're truly unstoppable. Like, seriously, 5 of these things almost killed Mary Leona, but these peeps are just blasting through them like it's nothing. What is the power scaling in this series, man? Okay, Kaiba, if this is about you wanting to jump in, I'm gonna lose my crap.
Kaiba? Who is Kaiba? Oh, that doesn't matter. Why are you so critical of my writing? There's nothing wrong with the power scaling. It's flawless.
Okay, but how do you always know when I'm saying stuff like this? Are you spying on me? Wait, is that? No, it can't be. I swear that... Tabata, you get back here! I swear, that guy is gonna... I'll handle that later on, but for now let's continue. So with all that madness happening, we're brought back to Patry, who's been unconscious ever since he put the magic stones into the tablet. William is reminiscing about his life up to this point, and how he couldn't decide between Patry and Julius, the 2 people he cared about most. In the end, the decision was made for him, and Julius lost his life. If you know, you know. William comes to terms with his decision to remain neutral and let things play out, and accepts that he has done the wrong thing. He apologizes to Julius and congratulates Patry. Not gonna lie, this made me really mad. Anyway, Patry wakes up and William is put to rest, permanently suppressed by Patry's consciousness. The imperfect resurrection is complete. Meanwhile, the less important former members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun are revealed to be... alive? It turns out that as the reincarnation was happening, before they were used as sacrifices, Raid's magic kicked in and evolved, giving him a new spell that can call back the souls of the sacrificed and give them life upon Earth once again. Sounds a little too OP, but hey, whatever. Death has always been reversible since the days of Dragon Ball, so who cares? Now that they're alive again, they decide the first thing they're gonna do is go get killed again. I mean, try to kill Patry for what he did to them. So, they meet up with the bulls and they're like, hey, I know you're saving lives and stuff, but we're gonna use you so we can kill this dude. Just thought you should know. And Asta's like, shut up! Main character punch! And Detroit smashes him in the jaw! Anyway, they come to an agreement and decide to head to the capital together. Then Tabata uses the time stone to take us back to before all that, when the reincarnation had just happened, and we see Yami fighting Marks and Owen, who have both been reincarnated. This happens earlier on in the anime, so if you've seen some of the stuff we talk about, that's because the anime is changing the pacing and the order and blah blah blah. Curse you, Piero! Anyway, this allows Yami to get a taste of how strong the elves are, since Marks and Owen aren't even fighting mages and they still give him a rough time. However, Yami activates his Savage Trap card and uses a black hole to make their magic disappear, and then slashes them into submission. This would be a reason to celebrate, but before Yami has the chance, he's rudely interrupted by a reincarnated Charlotte, and they duke it out. Soul shows up and she's like, I hate you because you're a man! Get away from my lover, I mean sis! And Yami's just like, girl, are you blind? I'm protecting myself. That woman's gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then she's like, oh yeah, I guess I am. And runs away. Then we see Gelder, the guy with the weirdly shaped face who used to be the Purple Orca's captain, and he's found an opportunity of escape from prison. The chaos outside broke a hole in the wall and his magic sealing prison. Before he can even react, we also see someone else eager to be free approach him. It's Revchi, the first guy Asta yeeted into a wall. They have a big old talk, but I'll just sum it up. I hated you because you did this to me. Well, I hated you because of this. You're stupid. No, you're stupid. And they keep rambling on like this until they finally tell each other they were both brought to justice by Asta. That gives them a mutual goal, and they decide to put aside their differences and work together. Suddenly, an elf shows up from the ceiling and tries to kill them. But Revchi and Gelder are like, shut your face! And beat him in like 2 seconds flat. Again, how did Meregliona almost die? Anyway, so they take care of him and then move on to see what else they can do now that they're free. If that wasn't crazy enough, we then move on to the Crimson Lion King's headquarters, where, you guessed it, elves are attacking. That's kinda gonna be happening a lot, like a lot, just so you know. And since Meregliona is out of commission at the moment, Leopold is stuck leading his remaining squad mates in defending the area. Now, I love me some Leopold. He's a friggin' savage, and I wish he'd get more screen time, but he just isn't strong enough to take on a threat like this on his own, which is why he doesn't have to! All of a sudden, Fuegoleon wakes up and jumps into battle, saving his brother in the process. Now equipped with Salamander, the fire spirit, he lays down the heart and reminds the viewers why he's the captain of his squad. He then senses elves in the heart of the capital and knows that the battle has only just started. Meanwhile, in the Golden Dawn's headquarters, many elves are gathering, including a reincarnated Langris. The elves then proceed to the heart with intent on killing the king and all of the other royalty residing there. After killing the guards in the entrance, they head in to carry out their objective. While this was happening, everyone watching this smashed the like button, and Yami woke up Finral, who had been unconscious since his fight with Langris in the Royal Knight Selection Exam arc. After hearing about all the craziness that was happening all around them, he and Yami skedaddled on out to put a stop to it. However, he sees what his brother had done and feels how strong the elves inside are, and a nameless fear awakens in his heart. Or maybe he has to fart, and that's what he's feeling. I mean, when you sleep for like a week or so, you're bound to have some farting to make up for. What? It's true! I'd be sticking up the place if I were him. The smell of it would probably make the elves just leave their human bodies on its own. Just saying. Anyway, Yami realizes this too, and just when they don't know what they're gonna do, Jack the Ripper shows up and lends them a hand. From there on out, it's action on top of action on top of action! Yami and Jack are slicing and dicing, and Finral is boosting their mobility with his spatial magic, protecting them in the process. In the midst of all that, one of the elves gets away from the chaos and goes to kill some nobles when suddenly... oh, look at that, she actually does it. I'm also gonna point out that it's like really messed up that the dude actually took this commoner that was standing next to him and was like, I'm rich, you're not, so my life matters more, shield me! And then ends up getting killed anyway. Then she kills the commoner too and goes on her merry little way. From there we see Solid and Nebra together. Solid's complaining like a baby cause his little sis beat him with her plot armor! her determination and character development. They both seem to be oblivious to what is happening outside, but not for long. The same elf from just a bit ago shows up through their freaking wall, and she means business. Nebra mans up a little and uses her "I'm royalty, so I'm invincible" mentality, thinking it'll intimidate a 500-plus-year-old elf. Of course, she didn't know she was an elf, although it's obvious if you ask me, but whatever. Anyway, Nebra uses her shadow clone jutsu, her mist clone spell, to replicate herself all over the room. But this means absolutely nothing, as this elf has the ability to shoot a seeking needle. It's actually a giant claw can, but I mean, it kind of looks like a sewing needle, so I'll just say that. At whoever she pleases, and she had already targeted Nebra before the spell was cast. The needle ignored her clones and went straight for her, piercing her gut. Meanwhile, Yami and the others see this giant rock floating in the sky, and it has some buildings on top, almost like a castle of some sort. Nozel comes flying out of it in his Mercury Eagle with Noelle, Mimasa, and Zora and Kirsch. They all split up, and after getting into some skirmishes along the way, Noelle and Nozel end up noticing the magic power coming from Solid and Nebra's location. Just when Solid is about to be killed, Nozel's Mercury magic comes in clutch and shields him. Noelle also bursts out a Sea Dragon's Roar, her signature move, but it's quickly deflected. Nozel suggests they regroup, but the elf, we're just gonna call her Pointy, because she has pointy ears, pointy needle, she's pointy. Don't judge me! Activates a spell that blocks the use of mana in a designated area. They can't escape, and Pointy plans to make their death swift and painful. Nozel manages to use some slight Mercury magic to stop the blades from stabbing him, but that's all he can do. Noelle is feeling the pressure of Pointy's magic, but doesn't give up. Nozel then finally acknowledges her and tells her to show them the power of the Silva family. So she does what she does best. She lets her magic run wild, flooding the closed space with water. Pointy is then forced to release the spell, giving everyone full control of their magic once again. Nozel explains that the reason he always looked down on her and never put her in the front lines is because he didn't want to lose her, the same way he lost his mother. And I guess it also matters that she looks just like her mother, because he bothers to mention it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my sister to die even if she didn't look like my mama, but that's just me. Maybe some people are different, and he's a cactus. I mean, I'm not gonna judge him. It's cool. We cool, Nozel? Yeah, we cool. Anyway, point is, it's a nice touching moment between the siblings, but it's cut short when Nozel is stabbed in the back with multiple needles. Pointy then reactivates the magic nullifying spell and makes it bigger, too big to use the same trick as before. Solid is panicking and Noelle is on the verge of joining her, but she can't give up. Not when her oldest brother and father figure just recognized her for the first time. She struggles to think of a way out, and just when all seems to be lost, she goes Super Saiyan! She awakens a brand new spell, but this isn't just any ordinary spell. It's a suit of pull-out armor! I mean water armor! It's called Valkyrie Dress, and it's now Noelle's strongest spell. This protects her from the magic dampening spell and allows her to gracefully dodge any of Pointy's attacks. All the self-doubt, all the fear of mocking and discouragement, all the suffering she had gone through her whole life was but a lie. She is free from the cage she had made for herself, and she finally lets loose. Pointy uses her deflection magic, but Noelle is simply too powerful, and she obliterates it, putting a stop to the menace who tried to murder her family. That's where I think we're gonna stop for today, folks. I'd like to see the anime catch up to that anytime soon. In all actuality, though, I'm a little worried about how early some things are happening. If you like this video and want to see more balls deep content, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!